Hey man, he brought me in Bilal. Come back at you with another edition of this Boomer's Logic, man. Today I'm here to give you guys some tips regarding when you use these apps, when you use these gig apps, man. And what I mean by gig apps is DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Shipt, whichever ones you use, especially the ones that deliver you food. We call those food delivery apps. And I'm gonna give you guys some tips in regard to how you get better service on these apps. But before I get into that, man, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the bells for notifications, do all that good stuff, man, to help me start to get my numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Probably never get sponsored, but help me get my numbers up, man, in regard to what I'm trying to do here. So let me first explain to you how DoorDash does things, right? Because it's important for you to know this, that DoorDash only ever pays its delivery drivers between $2 and $3 per order. So if you don't tip us anything, we'll get like $2 or $3 order. I never do those. So that's just a little FYI to understand that anything we get off is going to be based upon you guys' tips. So just to kind of get you an idea of, you know, if you want better service on these apps, if you want your food on time, if you want your food hot when it gets to you, if you want somebody that you can pretty much trust when you look out your doorbell thing, your little doorbell camera, you see somebody on your porch that's clean, decent, you know what I mean, and gives you a, you know, like comfort that you know, your food arrives safely or whatever the case may be, you have to tip. Now, with me, I only take orders that give me $2 or better. The order has to be $2 or better for me. If you only tipping $2 or you're tipping $3, I'm not taking it. I never take orders underneath $5. Generally, the only orders I take are double digits, $10 or better. And they have to be 5 miles or less. It's because I've been doing this for years and I know my worth. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not about to take a 10-mile delivery for $8, $7. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth my time. You're wasting my time. You burning up my gas, and I'm not getting nothing in return. A lot of you are selfish when it comes to these delivery apps. I always call it abusing the app, because you don't tip anything. You know what I'm saying, and you feel as if hey, this is your job to do that. No, it's not. We're independent contractors, so we don't have to deliver your food. We take the orders that we choose to take. Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, none of these places can force us to take these orders. We pick and choose the orders we want, and we'll take. That's why when I hear Dashers complaining about not getting tips, well, you had the option of turning those orders down. Like for me, once again, I generally will not take anything under double digits starting at $10. Now, if you order and you got you have a 3-mile order or 2-mile order and it's only, you know, it's $6, I'll take that because that's $2 per mile. Now, here's how you should figure this, right? You should figure this simply like this. You know the distance from the restaurant to you. Now, if you know that this restaurant is at a ridiculous distance, say you only got 2 Chick-fil-A's in the town that you stay in, and you know these two Chick-fil-A's are 7-8 miles away from you. If you want your Chick-fil-A order picked up quickly, delivered to you quickly, and get a good driver, you have to give $2 per mile. So if your delivery distance is 8 miles, you need to be giving up $16. And that's if you want a good driver. Now, you don't have to do that. Understand, you don't have to do that if you're 6 miles away, 7 miles away, and you tip $4, $2, $4. Trust me, it's only going to be about $6. You know what I'm saying? $6 delivery. Dudes like me don't go pick that up. I look at it, I'll decline it. Now, who you are going to get is one of those dudes or females that I explained to you in another video. Those will be the ones that snatch your order up. Those are the ones that you don't want to have your food. You want somebody, and not toot my own horn, but you want me to deliver your food. You want somebody who has years under their belts, years of delivery experience. I have multiple. I have like 1,500 deliveries. That's who you want. That's what you want. So you need to tip accordingly. If you don't tip accordingly, you're gonna get whoever. And if you're using these apps, a lot of times you're forced to use them because you're working from home, or you have a lot of things going on, so you have to use that. So be mindful. If you're trying to get somebody like me to deliver your food, make it $2 a mile. And I'm going to get your order, and I'm going to get it there to you in a timely fashion. So you don't have to worry about that. But if you do not tip, your delivery driver is going to reflect your non-tipping. So if you get somebody who look like they just rolled out of bed with a cigarette in their mouth when they delivering your food, it's because you didn't tip. That's how you end up with those drivers I was explaining to you about earlier. Those people who tip large amounts, they never end up with them because there's tiers to this, and I explained this to you before. You have like drivers who are seasoned vets who are on the top tier. So those guys see the bigger orders. Then you have people who just started. They generally see the smaller orders, the people who don't want to tip, and those are the ones that you really don't want getting your food, the ones that's just out here to get a pack of cigarettes and go back home. Those are the ones that you don't want to get your food. Now, I want to move on to Instacart. So I'm going to explain something to you about Instacart. Instacart is one of the best services that they ever come up with because a lot of people need this. And Instacart is a grocery shopping app where, you go into, let's just say, Piggly Wiggly, Publix, Sam's Club, Costco, and you shop for people and you deliver it to their homes. And the reason I say it's a godsend in regard to these apps is because you have a lot of older people, shut-ins, you know what I'm saying? Women who can't make it to the store because they got babies, young children, you know what I'm saying? You got people who work from home who can't get out and do the things that they regularly would do. And it's a godsend for those people. And it's taken serious by most of us. But one thing again, once again, you have to consider tips because Instacart is not giving us, $20, $25 on top of your tip. Instacart might be giving us $5, you know what I'm saying, on top of what you're already tipping. So if you're tipping $20 and Instacart gives us $5, that's $25, between $25 and $30, just depending on your order. So let's just say it's $25 and you're getting 20 items. That's a great order. I would take it all day, depending on the distance. It's always based upon the distance and how many items you're getting. You should want to give $1 per item. So if you're using Instacart and you're getting 25 items, you should want to tip per item, not per unit, per item. Say you got 25 items, but you got 50 units. A $25 tip is really good in that particular instance because I only got to get 25 items. Might be 50 units, but that's cool. I'll roll with that. So that's a very important tip that, you need to know in regard to Instacart. It's all about your tip, just like DoorDash, but you have to be mindful. It's not about the mileage so much with Instacart. It's about the item count and what you're paying towards the item count. Don't get 50 items and only give a $10 tip. You don't want to see the individual who's going to do your shopping if you're giving it up like that. Another thing in regard to Instacart, with Instacart, you have to understand, I always tell my wife this, one thing about Instacart is always about the delivery. And what I mean by it's always about the delivery is how easy and accessible you are in regard to delivery. A lot of you shop from these big box stores. You go to Sam's Club, you go to Costco. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of big bulky stuff that's harder to deliver. And a person is going to have to make 2 or 3 and 4 trips to get all the stuff that you order. So with that in mind, if you order, make sure that your driveway is, clear. You got a truck in the driveway, move the truck over so the driver can back up in there. It makes your delivery easier on your shopper. That's really, really important to me. And I always tell my wife, it's not about the shopping, it's about the delivery. If I get a smooth delivery, I don't care anything about the shopping because I've learned how to shop to an expert level where I'm in and out of there. But if I get to your house and I've shopped for you at Sam's Club and you got 30 items, 4 of them 48 case waters, and I got to park on the street and walk all the way up to your door, that's going to make it not worthwhile. And if you don't care, that's abusing the app. Another thing, you people that live in apartments, man, you people that live in apartments, don't order, like say you live on the 2nd and 3rd floor, especially y'all who live on the 3rd floor, don't order 4 or 5 cases of water. I done seen it done. I've had it done to me. Like, why in the hell would you order 4 or 5 cases of water and you live on the 3rd floor? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. You ordering all this water. No. You go to the store and get all that water yourself. Now, if you tipping big, I don't mind. But you got to be tipping astronomically large to make it worthwhile, to make me have to carry all this water up the steps, because it just ain't right. Be considerate when you use these apps. You know what I'm saying? If you get a case of water, you live on the 3rd floor, yeah, that's cool. You get a case of water, you live on the 2nd floor, yeah, that's cool. But a lot of times I see a lot of these people, man, ordering these cases of water and they live on the 3rd floor. And that's really, really selfish. That's abusing the app. That's not having any consideration for the person who's out shopping for you and delivering your stuff. And sometimes I've seen this done too. If you do that, I promise you, that some of these Instacarters get so frustrated with that they'll unload your order and leave it down there on the 1st level, take a picture of it, and send you a text telling you that your stuff is downstairs on the 1st level, because it's just really unfair. I mean, you might not agree with it and look at it a certain way, but hey, man, you're abusing the apps, you're abusing these delivery drivers, and hey, man, you get what your hand called for. I've seen it done. So just be mindful in regard to your orders and your geographical location. Make it a smooth and simple delivery for the guys. Make sure, and the females, especially the females, make sure that your driveway is clear so they can back in and get your stuff delivery without a hitch. Because it makes it a lot easier on the female deliverers. And it makes it a lot easier on the man. It makes it a lot easier for everybody in general, period. So just keep those things in mind, man. The tipping, your distance, what type of driver do you want? You know what I'm saying? If you tip well, you're tipping not only for your food and your service, but you're tipping for a good, decent driver. Somebody who's on top tier and they're going to get your stuff there in a timely fashion, how it's supposed to be. They're going to get it to you there warm or hot. Warm is worst case scenario with a top tier dasher. Hot is 90% of the time they're gonna get it to you hot because they have insulated bags and all that type of stuff. But I've droned on enough about this, man. I just wanted to give y'all game in regard to this because I told you the bad side about the drivers, and I also wanted to show you guys how to get quality service on these apps if you have to use them, and some of y'all actually have to use them. So if you want to get quality service, follow these steps, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all, if you order $30 worth of food, you're tipping 10%, you know what I'm saying, which is nothing. You have to leave that mindset when you're dealing with these apps, because you don't want your food just sitting there in the restaurant, and that's what it does a lot of times. I go in the restaurant a couple times and I might see a couple bags just sitting in there and don't move. Matter of fact, I went into a restaurant one day, I believe it was IHOP. And I went in there a couple times and the lady at the front desk told me, this order been sitting here all morning. Is somebody gonna come get it? I said, it's sitting there because whoever got the order didn't tip. And that's what happens. Your order just sits there if you don't tip. And that's what it is. So man, I just wanted to give y'all this game. If you continue to use the apps, a way to make it convenient for you so you can have a good experience. Because if you've had a good experience, it's because you made things convenient for your Dasher, for your Instacart shopper, all those particular things. And trust me, they'll be more than happy. Because a lot of these Instacarters, you see repeat customers. You see repeat customers, people who use this app, you know, constantly. So you might deliver to the same person 4 or 5 times. And you already know exactly how they want their order set up on their porch. They want it in the garage. You set it up neatly. They make sure that you got access. You know, those are the type of customers we love to have, and we service them well. We communicate with them. We make sure to get quality service because they're tipping. They're making the thing convenient for us. And that's just, you know, like I say, that's just a pro tip, man. And you can follow that template and you can get the best service, or you can just keep doing what you probably been doing. You're going to get somebody on your porch with a chihuahua under one arm, a cigarette hanging out their mouth, and your bag in the other hand. So do with it what you will, man. I just want to drop this on you today, just give you a video for today. Man, like once again, like I always say, man, Hebron Ben Bilal back. Boomer's Logic. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all on the next one.